I don't know who needs to hear this, but today I just broke down when I was at the gym in the sauna, and I just couldn't stop crying, and I was just asking God, God, why so much pressure? Like, I trust you. I believe, that you got my back 100%. Like, I don't have no doubt about that. Like, I need you to give me the strength to help me under pressure, because I'm grateful that you blessed me abundantly. I'm grateful that you got me out of this repossession, and you closed that part and that chapter and that season in my life. But I'm under so much pressure with other things in my life, God, and things ain't right. Things ain't right. Why, God, so much pressure? And I asked him, I said, do you test while Satan tempts? Does it come together? Is that possible, God? Like, what am I supposed to do about this? Like, Holy Spirit, help me, because, like, I feel like you're testing me, God, but I also feel like temptation is trying to rise, because the enemy wants me to believe that you're not hearing me. And I know that you're only silent in this testing season, because maybe you're testing my heart. Maybe you're testing me to see what I will do. And so this is what I wrote down, and I wanted to share it with you guys. How to recognize your testing season, okay? And I know that a lot of us may be in this time in our life right now under so much pressure. So being under pressure has helped me recognize that pressure exposes our heart posture. So when we're under pressure, it's a testing season, God testing us to see what our heart posture really is and what we'll really do. If we're going to have faith, or if we're going to have fear, or if we're going to trust him, or we're going to complain. What are we going to do to pass this test? Or what are we going to do to fail this test? And temptation shows up as a shortcut, because Satan, when he was tempting Jesus with bread, remember, when he was in the wilderness, so temptation will show up while God is testing our heart posture. So if you're like desperately like crying out to God, and you're like, God, but I don't want to fall under temptation. Like, I really want to do your will, Father. I don't want to be that person that I once was. I'm under so much pressure, and I really, really need you to give me the strength. If this is your will, Father, if this is a testing season, if this is a test, Holy Spirit, help me pass this test. Because testing, God knows what it does to us. Testing, when you're under so much pressure, I can only speak for myself, it pushes you into a deeper dependency on God rather than your own strength. So you're under so much pressure, you're not going to go on your own strength. He knows that you're going to go to him, and that's what he wants. And if you think about it, the story of Joseph and the story of Job and the story with Jesus and the story with David, like, they were under so much pressure, and I could only imagine like what they went through, like, because what I'm going through, it's like, this is all spiritual, and like the enemy he uses people like around us, like our landlords, people at our jobs, our boss, like our family members, our children. He will try to use anything and anyone he can to put us under so much pressure. But God will test us to see if we're going to complain, or if we're going to trust him, or if we're going to have faith, or if we're going to live in fear, So afterwards, when we pass the test, just like they did, God brings growth and maturity, and he's positioning us for greater purpose. So they too had to go through it. Well, God was testing them so that way God could see their heart posture. So God sees our heart posture so that way what is in us that is not of him must come out. It gets exposed, and we go to God and we're like, okay, God, I noticed this. I noticed I have a problem with this. I noticed that, I still have to work on this area. And at the same time, God is exposing your heart posture and checking to see if there's anything else that needs to be uprooted. Because in order for him to bless you, in order for him to position you, in order for him to give you everything that he has for you, he has to test you. He has to see if you're going to sacrifice certain things. That just tells you right there, he could break you free from, poverty, and bless you abundantly. He could set you free and deliver you from repossession. He could set you free and deliver you from an addiction or something. But that doesn't stop the storms. That doesn't stop you from walking through the fire. That doesn't stop you from walking through the valley of the shadow of death, through the trials and tribulations. It doesn't stop it. There's still going to be things that need to be worked on. So we don't only need to focus on, God bless me abundantly. God, these are your promises. This is what you said. Because he also wants to give us it. He wants to give it all to us, but he can't give it all to us at once, because there's certain areas in our life that he still has to break down and work on inside of us. You may still have problems with frustration in your household. You may still have problems with, walking around your house complaining about what your kids are doing. While God is doing all these good things for you, you think that you don't have problems in the inner side of you that you need to work on or that you need deliverance from, but you do. So God will test us so he could see what our heart posture is, so that way he could uproot whatever it is that's inside of us that he wants to get rid of. So it's a process. So he's positioning us, and as he's positioning us, he's cleaning up everything inside of us that's not of him, but it's a process. So I hope that this helped you guys, because this has helped me see why God tests us and when the devil tempts us.